Hello Nigeria, this is Social Media Scoop, where we bring you viral tweets from world leaders, viral videos with the most known details about the deepest conversations happening across the social media. Today, President Donald Trump is making bold declarations against Nigeria, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is firing back at the Washington. All this and more we will be discussing on Social Media Scoop. So stay with me. Let's navigate this digital train side by side. Hello Nigeria, good morning. I'm Chioma Ebisi and this is Social Media Scoop. Welcome. Now let's begin. Global attention is towards Nigeria after US President Donald Trump has made a declaration stating that Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. He stated that thousands of Nigerian Christian believers have been killed. He stated that Nigeria is designated to be a country of particular concern. He has urged Congress to investigate the matter in what he called a mass persecution of Christians in Nigeria by Islamic terrorist group. This has sparked conversations and debates online. Let's take a look at how people, home and abroad, are reacting to this statement by President Donald Trump. Our first reaction by Usman Modibo on X tweeted, Bishop Kuda of Khan and the presidents of Khan and other Christian bodies should urgently make a clear statement, either in agreement or disagreement with this, so as to help to resolve the issue before it plunges the country into another chaotic situation. Another reaction on X with the handle Dr. Oloyundayo tweeted, my only issue is the fact that it takes one message from the USA to get the attention of the presidency. What happened to the incessant cries of the masses for the past few days and months? I don't do religious rhetoric, but one thing is clear, and everyone knows it. President Donald Trump has also warned Nigerians of aid cuts and troops rolling into Nigeria if the government does not stop Islamic terrorist killings, as he claimed. We have a viral reaction on X by Omoyole Sorore, where he tweeted, the latest threats by the US President Donald Trump to launch military action in Nigeria, allegedly to protect Christians, may sound appealing to some. Still, history has shown this to be perilous. Whether you are Christian, Muslim, enemies or non-religious, no one should celebrate such rhetoric. The United States and its allies have a long record of military interventions and leave nations more unstable than before. They failed to secure peace in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya or Syria, and they won't bring salvation to Nigeria through bombs or boots on the ground. What Nigeria truly needs is not a foreign savior, but legitimate, accountable leadership, one that protects all citizens, upholds justice, and ends the cycles of corruptions and violence that have left the nation broken. Donald Trump does not care about Nigerians, not Christians, Muslims, or anyone else. Our deliverance will never come from abroad. It must come from within, through real leadership, not the Tinubus of the world, and national renewal. I have with me Emeka, okpara, a seasoned journalist, to give us in-depth analysis on this. But I must say, reactions of our guests and reactions online are not by any way influenced by Social Media Scoop or Kaftan TV. Emeka, it's a pleasure having you here once again.
Same here as always. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You've seen the statement by Donald Trump. You've seen the reactions of Nigerians.
Yeah.
Some school of thought believe that there's always something at the back of Americans when they're claiming that they want to promote peace or bring peace to certain regions. And some are saying this is a welcome idea, that if the government cannot fight such insurgency for years, then we need such military expertise to do so. But some critics are particularly saying that this is not a welcomed idea for Nigeria. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts exactly. You see, it's very, very easy to rationalize a situation when you are not really directly involved or affected.
Okay.
For me, all I can say, because the President Donald Trump's declaration is coming from the backdrop of Christian genocide. For me, I don't want to see it as a Christian. In fact, I don't want to delve into any conversation that reduces humanity to religious creed.
Exactly.
So for me, because if you look at it critically, both Christians and Muslims have been,
at the receiving
end.
Yes.
But you can also agree that maybe Christians have been more in terms of numbers.
Okay.
All right. But what is very much interesting to me at this point in time is that for once, the insurgency, the insecurity in Nigeria is getting global attention. And I very much like this because this has been going on for years. When you talk about insecurity in Nigeria, it has been going on for years. And successive regimes and governments in Nigeria, they've not really done much. There has been no political will in terms of tackling this issue. I believe there is a genocide, but what I don't want to talk about is whether it's a Christian or Muslim genocide. And I think it's a welcome development. Nigerians should welcome it because most of this particular administration, for example, has not really done much. You cannot tell me, for example, that what's happened in Yemwata and some other places are not genocidal. Instead of our political elites to tackle the issue of insecurity, what are they bothered about? They are more interested in how to, win the next elections. These are not what should be the situation. Nigerians are the receiving end. We've been the one, at the receiving end, bearing the brunt of this insecurity for years. So when such conversations is happening, it should give anybody joy. It should make everybody happy. Because once something is being talked about, that is when you can find the solution.
Yeah, but you spoke about global attention.
Yes.
Is this the right attention we need at this point? Looking at the eyes of the global world will now be on us. Is this attention a good one? Is this not a red flag by this declaration by President Donald Trump? This will frighten investors out of Nigeria.
We cannot be talking about, how can you even be talking about investors when there is no security? How can investors come in? For the fact that this is gaining global attention, that means you can see the presidency reacting to it. Because I know when these things happen and Nigerians speak up, they hardly react. What you just hear are muffles and whispers. So for the fact that this declaration by Donald Trump is even rattling the presidency, they are talking about it, they are reacting. I think it's a good thing.
But are you sure this is an honest care by President Donald Trump, or he's interested in the resources in Nigeria?
Chioma,
look at other countries that they have come into before. Do they leave the country better than they found it, or they leave it in more chaos?
I believe
that's the question I'm asking.
I believe that's just a matter of opinion, because it's like I said earlier, it's very easy to rationalize a situation that you are not directly involved. You must have seen video clips of those at the epicenter of this crisis. Do you think at this moment, what they want to be bothered about is whether US is coming for your resources or whatever? They just want to live. They just want to be alive. That is not asking for too much. That is not asking for too much. People just want to live their normal lives. Okay. And they are not asking the government for anything. Security of lives and property should be the primary responsibility of every government. But so far, I don't think this particular administration has done so much. It hasn't done much. Because what have you been hearing? We've been seeing cases when people are dying, people are being killed. You see the government is involved in, ushering peace deals to, these terrorists, negotiating with them, without recourse to the feelings of these victims. So, I still maintain the fact that this global attention that is given to this crisis is a welcome development, because it's rattling the presidency into accountability. We need a president that is responsible to, his duties by protecting the lives and properties of the citizens. I don't think that's asking for too much, because Nigerians have been groaning and crying for too long.
Okay.
Yes.
Speaking on presidency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has fired back at Washington In a viral post on X, he stated that Nigeria is a country that enjoys religious liberty. In an official statement, he reaffirmed that Nigeria remains a democracy built on constitutional guarantee of religious freedom. He stated that his government is actively involved with both Muslims and Christians in promoting unity, and says that anybody trying to portray Nigeria as a nation divided by faith does not show the reality of Nigeria. Tinubu's message calls for respect, diplomacy, and cooperation. Let's take a look at how Nigerians reacted to the statement by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. On X, with the handle Mo Usman tweeted, "Mr. President, your response was too diplomatic. Habamana, almost defensively cautious, safe. When what was needed was a firm, fact-based, and unapologetically confident rebuttal. Trump is a bully. He doesn't respect calm tones or polite phrasing. He only understands strengths. When you tiptoe around him, he takes it as validation. Nigeria deserves to be defended with conviction, not caution." We have a brought back tweet with the handle No Excuses, where he brought back a tweet from 2014 by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where he tweeted, "The slaughtering of Christian worshippers is strongly condemnable. It calls to question the competence of Jonathan to protect Nigerians." I take this reaction again by Dr. Oludayo Sokumbi, where he tweeted, "My only issue is the fact that it takes one message from the USA to get the attention of the presidency. What happened to the incessant cries of the masses for the past few days and months? I don't do religious rhetoric, but one thing is clear, and everybody knows it." Another reaction with the handle F4 Chalpang tweeted, "This is a time for Nigerians to come together and resist any attempt to destabilize their country. West Africa will collapse if Nigeria falls, because we can't survive the wave of refugees and asylum seekers. Trump does not care about us." Another reaction, reacting to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's statement, with the handle Set My People Free, tweeted, "The U.S. redesignates Nigeria as a country of particular concern for its violations of religious freedom. 12 northern states mandate the death penalty for blasphemy against Islam, and several individuals from diverse beliefs have been killed merely from accusation of blasphemy." Another reaction by Idris A. Oni tweeted, "The terrorist he sponsored failed, so he is directly threatening with invasion. What we must do is prepare. We must never cower to his bully. We shouldn't be seeking a diplomatic resolve with him. He is a terrorist head of rogue states, a criminal who sponsors terrorism and genocide. Nigeria will triumph by God's grace." That person is making strong accusations on Donald Trump, saying that I don't know whether he has evidence to back up that claims. But quickly, Emeka, what are your thoughts on President Bola Ahmed's statements? What do you think of that?
Statement with regards to Nigeria is a democracy?
Yes, Nigeria is a democracy built on religious liberty, and that his government is working with both Muslims and Christian leaders to promote unity.
Chioma, is Nigeria really a democracy? In practice?
Nigeria is a democracy.
Okay, in practice, you think so?
I think so.
What happened the other day when protesters came out to protest? What happened?
I think they were violating some court orders. They were told not to go to certain areas. In a
democracy, you need... What is a protest? It's just a means of expression. And as far as I know, Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, guarantees the rights of every citizen to, freedom of expression. As a matter of fact, Nigeria is signatory to the United Nations a charter on, declaration of Nigeria's United Nations Declaration on Human Rights. You understand? So that's an aside. So talking about commitment to unity and freedom. In actual practice, I believe, this is my personal opinion, that Nigerians are more divided at this point in time, more than any time in the history of this country. It's not just about to talk about it, unity, rhetorics. In practice, are Nigerians really, united? Has this presidency shown any commitments to Nigerian unity?
But we saw a statement.
It's a statement. That's what I'm saying.
By a commenter, a Nigerian, that says that this supposed invasion by the U.S. through the statement of President Donald Trump, that Nigerians should unite, come together to stand
yes,
against
that's
it.
a statement, personal opinion of somebody reacting. Before now, because the duty of a leader is to unite the people, among a common purpose to achieve a particular goal. See, this is like 3 years into the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Have you seen any, practical steps made towards reuniting Nigerians as one indivisible country? I don't think it has been like that. So it's not just about coming out to, make profound statements, but in actual practice, you don't see these things coming to light. For me, if you ask me, I don't think Nigeria in practice is a democracy. And I also don't think that we are united, because most what you see now, Nigerians mostly want to see themselves from the angle of their religion or their tribe first. And again, let me even point to the fact that this was the same presidency that came aboard on the mantra of Miloko, it is my turn. He was not talking at it he was not looking at it from the angle that it is the turn of Nigeria, but his turn. So I don't believe this kind of state. If truly Nigeria is a democracy founded on freedom and unity, Nigeria should have the freedom to speak up, because a protest, speaking up, is a feedback. Government is a communication. A communication is a two-way process. You understand? When you cannot tell me that you expect all Nigerians to see things from your angle. When there is no freedom for people to freely express, you cannot call that a democracy. I tell you today, Chioma, that most people that want to speak up are speaking tongue in cheek. And like I often say, when speaking up becomes an act of bravery, it can never be a democracy. It can never be a democracy. We might want to try to be politically correct here and there, but the fact still remains that you look at Nigeria today, if we want to be honest, we are not a united country, because people are always speaking from the prism of ethnicity or religion. Way forward, the presidency should sit up. There's a lot of work to do. Nigerians are expecting him to act as a leader.
Talking about Nigerians expecting him to act, we saw a comment from an ex-user that stated that why is the presidency replying so fast to this declaration by President Donald Trump after Nigerians have been crying over time about this insurgency? What's your take on this? Do you believe that the presidency is replying fast because it's coming from President Donald Trump?
Sure, but don't you believe so?
I'm asking your views. I want to know what you
want
think.
to know my view. What do you think also? What do you think?
I believe the response was fast.
This our political class. Usually when the people speak, there's a lot of indifference going on. There's a lot of indifference. They hardly, talk. There's no proactive measures put in place. It's as if I see a lot of bravado and braggadocio among this political class. The news that make more news in Nigeria today is when you see defections. People defecting to a particular political party. And these politicians will come out and sing victory songs of dominance over the people, boasting to the Nigerian people that 2027 is assured. To them, that's what matters. It doesn't matter when you want to talk about the economy is not doing well. It doesn't really matter to them when you want to talk about the insecurity. How can you tell me that, see, if not, it's just, Nigeria is a peculiar case, let me tell you. Because let me even ask you, do you think there's any country in this world where in a single night, over 200 lives were snuffed out and everywhere is calm? Chioma, tell me one country and I will wait. Tell me one country in this world where over 200 lives will be lost. I don't think that even in present-day Ukraine, what's on Ukraine, that they've lost over 200 people in a single night. What was the reaction of the presidency? You saw how he went to Benue. He did not even visit Yewata, where it happened. But he and the governor of the state were more interested in the ground reception that he would receive. A place, a state where we're supposed to be having, when they were supposed to be mourning. What happened? What was the reaction? What did they do?
Bold statements from you, Emeka Okpara. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll be diving into deeper conversations as Senator Ted Cruz is stepping into a major controversy. Let's take a short break. We'll be back.
What's up, people? It's your boy Mayocon.
Your boy Perry DMW up in this.
Guys, my name is IK Bonan, Hollywood actor and producer.
Okay, madam, so stay here.
It's your girl in Kechi Blessing Sunday, aka Omo Logo Dida One.
Keep watching Kaftan TV.
And this is Kaftan TV.
Don't go nowhere, don't touch that dial.
This is Captain TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it locked.
I will say so. Opa.
Keep watching Kaftan TV. Don't touch that dime.
Welcome back. This is Social Media Scoop, and I still remain Chioma ebisi. Senator Ted Cruz pushes for sanctions on Nigerian Sharia law enforcers. He is introducing Nigeria Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025. This bill will sanction Nigerian officials who enforce Sharia-based blasphemy laws. It follows outrage over the past 2022 killing of Deborah Samuel in Sokoto. This legislation will freeze assets and block U.S. visas for those found complicit. Let's take a look at Nigerians' reactions to this. We have Bashir Ahmed, former presidential aide to late President Buhari, who tweeted on X, "So a U.S. senator is now proudly declaring they will target those who helped implement Sharia law in Nigeria, as if practicing or supporting Sharia is a crime. You are free to oppose Sharia in your own country, but you have no jurisdiction to dictate the laws of ours. We will defend our sovereignty and our right to determine our own legal and affairs." Another reaction by Abo Obunaya in reply to Bashir said, "Do you know that most Sharia practices are contrary to what the constitution of this country has guaranteed its citizens? Do you know the number of innocent people, even Christians like Deborah, who have been killed in the name of Sharia? You have publicly supported these killings, and you expect a reasonable person to believe your lies, even when you have publicly declared yourself an extremist. Sharia is only for Muslims, but the article revealed human rights violations under Sharia in northern Nigeria. Go back and read the article." Those are strong reactions from Nigerians. Emeka, I must ask you this. We have our laws in Nigeria. Do you think there's still a way Sharia law can work alongside Nigeria law? So far, it is particularly to Muslims and to the northern region. Don't you think they can coexist, or do you think this is something that can't coexist at all?
Let me tell you what I think. I think Nigeria is a secular country.
Yes, it is.
It is a secular country, and that much was captured in Section 10 of the 1999 Constitution. Please permit me to read quickly.
Please read.
It said, "The governments of the Federation," that's Section 10, "the governments of the Federation or of a state shall not adopt any religion as state religion."
Okay.
So for me, going by this, the Constitution is the ground norm of every country.
Yes.
And Nigeria is a democracy.
Yes.
So if we are going to follow the dictates of the Constitution, I don't think Sharia should have any place in our national conversation. Religion, if you ask me, is a personal thing. We should never be elevating religion, Sharia, to our national conversation. And the most annoying thing, or the most distressing thing about this is most of these people mouthing religion. In practice, they are not even following the dictates or the preaching, the practice. They are not practicing what they are preaching. Because if truly we are as religious and we are as godly as most of the holy books of these religions we claim to practice dictate, Nigeria will not be the way it is today. Most times, these political office holders, what they do is to use, because like as Karl Marx said, that religion is the opium of the masses,
Yes.
an instrument of the poor, of the rich against the poor.
Against the poor.
They just use all this religion as strategy, to winning elections and, remaining in office. In actual practice, I don't think we have people that are truly Christians or Muslims. And that's why you have Sharia. Sharia, basically, when you see what the Sharia, most times it has been used, it's mainly for the poor of the poor, the masses. How many times have you seen
The elites.
The elites. The
Being
elites in
governed
Nigeria.
by-
That's
by
why
the
somebody
laws.
called it, I've forgotten the name of the person, said it's political Sharia. They only use it against the poor. They use it against the poor. But for me, basically, Nigeria remains a secular state. And as you can see from what we read from the Constitution, religion, no states or parts of the country or state should adopt any religion as state religion. So that's why I feel that it's depressing to hear conversations such as this when you talk about Sharia. What is Sharia? It's a doctrine, an Islamic doctrine. Religion should be a personal thing. It should be a personal thing, Chioma.
Okay.
It should. That's for me. That's what it should be, a personal thing. You are practicing religion, let it be in practice. Because even, I know you are a Christian and you must have gone to church yesterday. For me, one of the most important and fundamental parts of the Holy Book, as a Christian that I love so much, is when it stated that, I don't know the particular verse, forgive me, that righteousness exalts a nation. Please, I don't want to go biblical now. Righteousness exalts a nation. What is righteousness? Right deeds. You cannot tell me that you are religious. You go to church, you go to mosque. You accumulate public funds for your own personal interests and then want to tell me about religion. Is that righteousness? Do the right thing. How many of us, these so-called religious political office holders and even the citizens, how many of us are doing the right thing? They want to come and talk about religion. I don't want to hear such conversations.
Thank you, Emeka.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Chioma.
for your time.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for your in-depth analysis.
You're
As
welcome.
always, it's a pleasure having you.
And you look beautiful as always.
Thank you. You
You're
look good.
welcome. All right.
That's all the time permitted for us on Social Media Scoop on Kaftan TV. Imagine a beautiful world. I still remain Chioma ebisi, and see you next time with more trending videos, trending conversations, and viral tweets. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.